Black Light. This is 3 out of 7 how to debate and defeat Satan. Who am I referring to when I'm talking about Satan? I'm talking about this government that's ran by Caucasian, that we use the terminology the white man, because we are locked in the Caucasian's frame of mind. We go to his schools and his institutions. Therefore, we are all affected and influenced by the Caucasian, who is the great Satan, the great beast, the devil. The devil is an adversary to God, the supreme God that we call Allah. Some may call it something else, but we say Allah, the all in all, and the Most High, all in all. There's nothing higher. So we're coming from a higher frame of mind and a higher frame of reference and a higher alternative way to think that was brought to us by Master Farad Muhammad, who came strictly over to us to give us this wisdom, the supreme wisdom that belongs only to the Most High Allah. Now, what's happening now is that we're trying to escape the grip of Satan. We're trying to come out the mindset of Satan because of Master Farad Muhammad. Otherwise, we would still be bound to the mind of Satan. Now we have an alternative way of thinking. Now, last video I was talking about, excuse me for a minute, go through my notes. It says, we were talking about you got to have a criteria and a reference point. And when you're talking to your own people and when you're talking to Caucasians reference point is Greek. Now they're beginning to go back to ancient Egypt, when it was called Egypt by the Caucasians, and they named Egypt is really a Greek word, and they named Egypt, and they named Africa, which is a Greek word. They don't too much go back to when it was called Tamaria. It could go back further than that. It could go back to when the earth was called Moon. It could go back to when the earth was called Asia. The entire planet was called Asia. It could go back even further. but we don't have the knowledge of that right now. But it's here. But it's here. The knowledge is here, but we don't have it. I don't have it. Somebody else might have it. But most of y'all don't have the supreme wisdom. You can only get that in the Nation of Islam. Supreme Wisdom lesson books. And it was brought by Master Farad Muhammad. And I've given you glances of it in my previous videos. So we right now we in the knowledge we in the knowledge of Kemet. After it's on its way out. We're not into the early knowledge of Kemet. There are books out there. Sister Drusilla Houston has a book out, Kushite Empire. She was an anthropologist. Book was written in 1927, or it could have been earlier. And you don't hear most brothers referring her knowledge. But her knowledge comes before Master Farad came over here. He was probably already here, but he just hadn't visited Detroit and Black Bottom yet. So we're going to move on from that right now. We're going to come back to that at a later time and maybe a later date. Maybe not even in this series. We just want you to see that the brothers going out there now debating and trying to expel religion and trying to expel certain thought patterns and frames of mind. So that's irrelevant the way I look at it, because when you debate, it's nothing but the art of persuasion. Just like they do when you go to court, when you go to you have two attorneys. One is pro and one is con, right? And a guy could be innocent, but if the attorney has a silver tongue and can rap better than the other attorney and has better evidence, and even though the guy could be guilty or the guy could be innocent, it depends on who got the better technique and the better presentation, and that's who the jury or the public tends to believe. Sometimes a guy could be innocent as hell and the jury see him guilty. And just like when Brother Brown was shot down in Ferguson, and the officer, the way the courts was set up, the officer was let free. See, they try to stack all the cards against your argument, against your frame of mind. And They trap you. They bait you into going down a certain argument or philosophy, and you fall like a rat going after cheese in a trap and get trapped and caught. So you got to have the proper criteria and the proper reference point that in the court of law you guilty. I mean, you innocent until proven guilty. Now they didn't turn it around and say you guilty until proven innocent. So now when you debate, you already coming when you debate Caucasian, you already coming from you guilty until proven innocent, because they done stack the deck on you like that, if you know what I mean. So you got to flip it on them. They guilty until proven. Well, they guilty, and they got to prove that they innocent, not you. So you can't say that the sun is the beginning of all intellect and spirituality. Intellect and spirituality are two different things, you know, because the black man was here before the sun was out there, you know. So you got to come from that point of view. And once you come from another viewpoint that they don't know nothing about, they can't argue with it. Because you being an answer, if you take your time, you being an answer to all their questions, you know. You being uncovered every angle that there is. But you got to thoroughly know yourself and thoroughly know your enemy, your opponent. So that's one way. The next way you got to understand is that we all are poisoned by Satan. See, Satan comes to you in the straight way, in the righteous path, you know. So he'll have you defeating your own self, you know. And he done spread his poison all over the planet. That's what Satan means, you know. The spreader of disease and the spreader of lies and falsehood. And he can influence you, and once he influences you, you know, you become a demon. You become his little spawn, his little pawn. So that's the game that y'all into right now. This is Black Light Out.